Good evening and welcome to the first edition of the 2024-2025 football season with the Bermuda Referee Corner here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin. Joining me is none other than the second vice president of the Bermuda Football Association and the head of referees, Mr. Cranston Williams. Well, Mr. Williams, I would say this to start off. For one, a finish line is in sight, and for two, we're still on the warm-up track looking for a relay baton, if I could put it like that. When I say we can see the finish line in sight, I'm referring to the fact that we're quite a few steps closer to having a team of officials for CONCACAF, for FIFA. But the worrying side is the lack of officials that we have on the local side. And I know you've been doing yeoman's work to try and get people from overseas to come in and fill the void. Let's start there. That filling that void over the last, I would say, 3 seasons now, right?
Yes, 3.
Yeah, the last 3 seasons. We've seen a steady flow of international officials, World Cup officials, CONCACAF officials, FIFA officials come on our shores and officiate our matches. Talk to us about, first of all, how that came about and when or where are we at this time?
Good evening, Mr. Basin. Good evening, Bermuda. I think it was December or November 3 years ago. We just hit a shortage of match officials, and I reached out to my contacts in the Caribbean, and gentlemen agreed to come. I think the first cohort was Ocean Nation,
Yes,
Damian Williams, Quincy Williams, and OJ Duhaney. Those are the first 4. And then after that, we had some Americans that came as well. It came basically because we just, as you said, we are short of match officials. In order for the game to continue, we needed support. So when I sent out the SOS, of course, coming to Bermuda to referee, change of environment, where you're taken care of. I mean, why not? If I was in their shoes, I would jump at it as well. And as everybody says in CONCACAF, Bermuda is a leading force when it comes to referee development, referee recruitment, and everything that we do. We do our best to make sure referees have all the tools necessary to be successful. So that's where it started. Then last year, I entered into agreement with, or the BFA, through contacts we had, entered agreement with Canada, Canadian Football Association, and they were sending us 4 referees from January until the end of the season. That worked out quite well because that included World Cup officials as well. I think 1 or 2 of the ladies actually went to the Under-20 Women's World Cup. So as you said, we've had some key World Cup people come to the island, and everybody spoke highly of the program, spoke highly of Bermuda. They love the atmosphere, the vibe. But as you say, we still need our local persons. I'd like to give a big shout out at this time to some gentlemen that have been helping us out, especially for the youth leagues on Friday and Saturday. That's Mr. Secoy Robinson, who's been a godsend. I had hoped to have him ready to do some first division games, but he decided he's going to coach Robin Hood. Mr. Malachi Jones, who probably surprised some people, is one of our cricketers, but he stepped up and agreed. And we also have Sir Richard Lyons, who is now returned to help us. And surprisingly, another one who's come back to assist is Mr. Martin Wyatt. Mm-hmm. So slowly we have people coming in, but we still need more, because on a given Sunday, you could have, say, 12 matches between first division and Premier. So that means we need 3. Ideally, we would like to have 4 persons per match with a 4th official. But of course, we don't have those numbers, so it's kind of difficult. That would normally happen if we have a final, semifinal, quarterfinal, or if we have the abundance of several overseas match officials on island. So I'm going to say it again, we need our locals to come out and assist. Otherwise, we just will not have any football.
Yeah. You're out and about, and obviously other officials are speaking with people in the street, in the community. What is their I guess hold up on why they would not join the officials to get matches played?
Everybody says it's the abuse. The environment to referee in Bermuda is not conducive for match officials. And most people say, well, the referees get paid, they need to have thick skin and the like, but you have to remember that a referee is human, first and foremost. And I did ask the clubs at the Congress, when we had the Congress recently, I said we need to do a better job of ensuring that we create an environment that's conducive to persons to want to become a referee. Because at present, we have youngsters such as Dash Bailey, who's 13, Dunstan DeSauce, 13, Tate Bronze, 12 or 11. You have Saw Smith, 16, Isaiah O'Brien, 16. These are youngsters that are helping us out who ideally should not be in that environment, but because we're short of match officials, they stepped up and agreed to assist. So I still say we need to do better at our environment. We're not as bad as other places, mind you, but we can do better as a country.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the plus side is that we have um, these folks on the FIFA list. Um, are they could be like when I want to use this phrase poster child or
Mm-hmm.
poster children. Um, the benefits that they have seen that you through your eyes, the benefits of them officiating locally first and then stepping up when the FIFA officials come, passing the various tests and so forth. What's the benefit that they have seen through just blowing a whistle or raising a flag in Bermuda?
Um, the FIFA person, well, you enter your FIFA, they tell you your passport is your fitness. You pass a fitness test, that's your passport. You can go anywhere in the world. So the persons that come from overseas to come here, they like how we have things structured. They like the fact that you have somewhere to train. We have headquarters. They have the what we call the beep flags, electronic flags. We have the savvy flags, which CONCACAF uses. They have warm up gear. They have mics. They have set training days. We have courses. We bring in overseas officials. We have FIFA course, rap course every year. They just like the whole structure. And for them, a lot of them, a lot of them I used to take as a joke, but now I'm realizing it is real because I did go to the CONCACAF had a referees workshop and Bermuda was mentioned quite a lot. And even when CFU had our workshop online, I was asked to present, and everybody was saying the same thing. Bermuda seems to be ahead of the game. But as I told persons on the call and even in Miami, I don't view it as being ahead of the game. I believe that if you're passionate about something, you want it to work, you will. So where all referees are concerned, I tell them all the time that the referees need to be best dressed and best team on the field. So I was raised with this where if you dress the part, you're gonna look and act the part. So if
Mm,
you notice this year, the referees have the same warm-up shirts, same uniforms. We try to make sure everybody looks the same. So it's
right.
not an issue of somebody's got on a red shirt, somebody else got on a yellow. We're trying to eliminate that. We're trying to professionalize the environment, as Massimo said when I went to the head of referees workshop. Are we there yet? No, we're not, but we're making, as you say, we're making small, steady progress, small steps.
Yeah. You talk about the the environment and everything. What I've noticed that hasn't changed throughout the years is the area in where the match officials um, change up and or you know head to for halftime. Some of the facilities are not up to par. What would you like from the clubs to and that's another thing that would encourage um, people to wanna help out, I guess.
Well, I mean, the clubs have to a certain degree improved the facilities somewhat, but we do have more female match officials. So I have stressed the clubs and the females need somewhere separate to change. Some clubs do have the changers right next door to the players. So if there's a scrap around a call, a player might feel he has access to the referees or the referees have to walk through where the players are to get to their changing room. That
Hmm.
all comes from infrastructure. That was before my time. So that would be I guess, an infrastructure, something, a wish list for later on down the road. But the biggest thing would be to make sure that the club provide adequate security for the referees, so that if something were to happen, they're well protected.
Yeah,
That's my main focus because we don't know we live in a different climate and things have changed from way back when.
right, right. Can we see more? of these overseas officials on a regular basis? I mean, we're coming up to a point in the season where matches are going to be coming fast and furious.
Um, I don't want to speak out of term, but everything depends on the availability of the local match officials. That's what determines whether or not overseas referees come in. Like this weekend, we didn't have deserves any overseas referees because a lot of people that were unavailable the past 2 weeks due to illness, injury, or work commitments made themselves available or they're on vacation. So that's kind of what the primary thing is. Where because our referees, local referees, are the ones that are officiating, are doing multiple games. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have a referee that will do a game at 12:30, then turn around and do a game at 4. Or you have a referee that does a game on a Saturday at 3, turn around and do another game on a Sunday at 3.
Mm.
And some of our FIFA people have also, because they realize well that short, would say do a Saturday at say 3, then do a Sunday at 12:30, and also turn around and do another one Sunday at 3. Is it ideal? No. But of course, they are willing to sacrifice. Hey, they know what's short and they want the games to proceed. But I look at it and say that also going to lead to injuries. So that's why we've tried our best to, if the overseas persons are available, we bring them in to supplement our ranks.
Mm. Mm. Now, you recently had CONCACAF or FIFA officials on the island overseeing the opening week of the season. The what course do you call it?
Oh, the FIFA rap course. Sorry.
The
Yes.
rap course. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. How did that go over?
Actually, that, to be honest, out of all the years I've done, I think I've done 11 years now. That was probably my most rewarding course that we've had. For the simple fact, we had 8 youngsters, and as I'll put in the instructor's words, the youngsters spoke football terminology, and they got up and presented using the football terminology. They were actually very, very impressed with the youngsters, to the point where they were saying that next year they want the course to be strictly the youngsters because they were receptive, they were engaged, and they were just really, really blown away by how much the youngsters knew. So I did tell them that a lot of those youngsters came out of our refereeing skills program at Work Academy, where they did a course from January to March. So they were doing it every week for an hour and a half with
Right.
Simon Breivik and Alan Snoddy from the UK.
Yeah.
So they were used to, and that was from a UEFA side. So, a lot of things that the videos and different things they were already exposed to. And then we have Anthony Francis and Garrett Swinton, plus the overseas refs that come down. They would do courses with them on or sessions on a Sunday. So our youngsters, provided I can keep them in the program, you'll be in good standings for the next, I'll say about 5-6 years from now.
Yeah, but the difficult part is most of them love to play too, don't they?
Yes, they do. That is the issue. And also a lot of them have transitioned overseas. So that's also an issue because we know what's going on in Bermuda. A lot of the parents, especially sons or boys, they'll send them overseas earlier. So that's how we lose them.
Mm. Mm. So let's talk about the bright light. I know you want to stay away from it, but
bright light. Bright light.
We've seen Amari Majors be called up to do. He officiated in the middle in Canada. He's officiated in the middle in under 15, under 17, under 20 games, and so forth. Let's talk about.
Okay, that's back. Okay, Amari Majors. I call him Don Majors. For me, this is a story that needs to be told. Amari, met him. He was 14 years old. I think the very first rap course we had came up to Cedar Bridge. Amari's into basketball, but he said he wanted to officiate. He started out, he's in youth matches in the middle, then he transitioned. We put him on the line. I even remember the very first charity shield he did. Amari's 16, and the senior officials the powers that be, asked me, was I crazy to put him on the line? I said he's showing that he can do it, and I have faith in him. After the game, the same senior officials came to me and said they want him on the line every week, and I just laughed. I said, one thing I do know as an educator, I know talent when I see it.
Right.
So fast forward, Amari says, yeah, I want to be on the line and the like. Then he went to U14s. That's right after COVID. It was Amari, Majors, Randy Haywood, Natasha Trott, and Stephen Mabry. All 4 of them went. So Amari did his very first game. He didn't have any more appointments. So I was sitting there wondering, okay, did he mess up? What happened? So I made a call to Pete, person. They said, "Oh, don't worry, it's good." I said, "What does that mean?" They just said it's good. Amari ended up doing the final. He was AR1 for
Uh-huh.
U14s. And I think Natasha that same year did the girls' final was AR1. So fine. Dallas Cup came around and we sent Amari Majors and Satya Barcho to Dallas. Amari went, he met Peter Pendergrass, Alan Brown Morgan, Howard Webb, and who's the other one? So he met one more person. Can't remember who the other person is, but he came back and he said to me, "Oh, Mr. Williams, um, I don't want to be an assistant referee anymore. I want to be a center ref." I said, "What did you say?" He says, "Yeah." So I said, "Amari, but I just wrote the strategic plan about having another year on the list." He said, "No, no, I'm going to be a ref. Yeah, I've got time because he has to be 26 to go on the list." So back to the drawing board at the redo the whole strategic plan.
Hmm.
But I guess in hindsight, God knew what he was doing because Amari joined the fire service. He had to take a year off from refereeing to all of his certifications. Fast forward from there, that got finished. He came back because he's also part of the not CONCACAF, CFU Next Generation cohort, Amari and
Yes.
Sophia, right? So he had to drop out of that for a minute. And then CFU or CONCACAF were posting all these pictures saying the next generation of referees. So I hit up the person on CONCACAF. I said, "Hey, there's a person in Bermuda who's done this, 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 and this." And they were like, "Really?" So next thing I know, I got an email from CONCACAF telling me Amari's going to the CONCACAF Academy. So he went, instead of going to CFU, he went to CONCACAF Academy. They invited him to Mexico in January. Um, sorry, before that, he went to CFU under 14s. He
Hmm.
went as a center referee. He did, I think, 2 games, 3 games, because it was the first time. He wasn't as impressive as, of course, you're brand new. Then he got invited to CONCACAF Academy in January. He went out there, I think it was for a week or 10 days before the elite referees. They had a seminar. He got his CONCACAF badge. Then he had to do this year, the second part, which was in was it Dominican Republic or Curacao? Curacao, I think it was, yes. So he went and did the girls under 15s. And funny about this, not girls under 15, sorry. It was, yes, it was the girls under 15s. He did that and then he left and went to the boys under 14s. He did the top group in boys under 14s and he did the 2 most challenging matches, both involving Jamaica, funny enough.
Mm.
And from there, the feedback we got, that Amari, they want him hopefully transition to be a FIFA referee next year. And after that, he came back. Amari Haywood, Mateo Donovan, Clinton Haywood, Amari Major, sorry,
Mm.
Clinton Haywood. They went to Canada, and they officiated in the Canadian Club Championships, which through partnership with Canada. So Isaac Graham requested some of our match officials. They went, based on what I've seen, they did very well. So yes, fingers crossed. Not September, January 2025. Bermuda should have our first team of officials in a while, but we would also have our first center referee in 20 years. So for
Mm.
me, that's a huge milestone. Huge.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, so the team of officials that will be recognized by FIFA and CONCACAF and so forth. How are they gelling together? I know it's difficult sometimes in Bermuda, through work schedules and the like, to always have them working together. Um, but is that the aim and goal each weekend, to make sure that they're kind of at least
Together.
two of them are together?
Well, because Amar is a fireman, so it basically he lets us know when he's available, on a Sunday or even during the week. So if Amar is available during the week or the weekend, it's a given pretty much that he'll be referee with Stefan and Clinton.
Mm.
Um, there have been times we have to break them up, but for the most part, that's who will be officiating together.
Mm.
And also, well, Natasha Trott, the female AR, she's injured at present, but when she comes back off her injury, she also works with them as well.
Right, right. And the youngsters, you mentioned off some ages, 13s and 16s and so forth. Um, through the years, we've talked to them even on this show, and we've seen how eager they are to um, be a part of it. Do you still see that in most of them?
I do. You have some youngsters that came from Work Academy out of that program who are doing youth games on Saturdays. Like we have Reese, Pedro, we have Jasper, we have Jude, Josiah, Daly, Therese, who saw his brother. We have quite a few of them that, they are hungry and excited and they love to do. But for me, the person I have to recognize is two of them that have stepped right up. It's Dash Bailey and Dunstan DeSaw. Those two have stepped up, and especially Dash. I remember he came training one Sunday and I said, "Hey, Dash, you look like you could run a line for the women's league." And he laughed. He says, "I'll think about it." Then I messaged his mother. I said, "We need persons to run the line for the women's league. I'm the match commissioner. Could you send Dash?" He said, "Okay, sure." He came, he did his thing. The first couple of calls, of course, you knew. He might have said it was good for Somerset, he might have said good for St. George's, but of course he switched for it and he was fine. And now every Sunday, Dash is doing a first division game. And it's to the point of where it's like Kate started out like that as well. And what I find, the players seem to react better to the youngsters than they do to the seniors. It's almost like they say to me, "Why you didn't put the youngsters on my game?" And I'm like, "You can't put them on every single game."
Right.
So Dash actually made history because I think it was a FA Cup prelim down at St. David's where the last 15 minutes, it was a water break. I think the referees decided, you know what, let's give him a run. And he did his thing for that last, after the water break. And quite a few people have, hit me up and said he did an excellent job.
Right.
Now, would I put him in that scenario with a regular? Not yet. But, they're young, and for 10 minutes it's fine. But for her 90, I'm not sure. But he said, I don't want to push them too soon.
Right.
You want to make sure they stay motivated. But for the most part, yes, Dunstan, Dash, Sar, Isaiah, they've been there. Sar is itching, I'm sure. If he's listening, Sar is waiting for me to say, "Yes, Sar, you're getting in the middle of a first division game." Sar and Isaiah. So that's coming very soon as well.
Yeah. Well, I wanna ask you because a couple of years ago we had two people chomping at the bit talking about they were going to become officials. I wanna ask you, after watching this, where are they?
Hey, but I love getting football games, bro.
Yeah, me too, though.
Come on, referee!
Come on, man.
Your boy's not serious.
Trash.
That's a bear call. Bear call.
That's trash. I should have been a referee myself.
Yeah, you should be a referee.
No funny business. Red card, get off.
Cause hey, I'm gonna be a referee.
Shut up, you ain't gonna be no referee.
Watch me.
You gonna be a referee? If you're a referee, I'm gonna be a referee.
All you gotta do is take the course. Hey, and they need referees. Okay, look, you take the course. As long as you got a valid passport, you could get travel with pay.
With pay?
With pay.
And travel?
And travel.
Oh, man.
And look, girls can do it, guys can do it, teenagers can do it, young and old. It don't matter. All you gotta do is just go to BFA and get qualified. Cause hey, I'm gonna be a referee.
So where are they?
They're around. They're busy. They have their own lives. The business is to run.
Is that why we're short?
Yeah, they're around. Funny you shared that because I actually reached out to both of them recently and I said we need to do another show dealing with certain people. One person I forgot to mention also is Mr. Kenton Jennings, former youth international professional football player. Through a simple conversation somewhere at a watering hole we know very well. Say, hey, I need a referee for Saturday. He showed up and now he's doing Premier League matches.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought? So for me, if I had to get a poster person, it would be Kenton Jennings because he definitely has come out. And one thing I like about Mr. Jennings, players don't argue with him. And I say they don't argue with Mr. Jennings, they do not argue with him. If he says leave the field, go get an early shower, okay, and they walk.
Yes.
It's no question asked.
Hopefully they follow those instructions from anyone who's ready to give them, who actually go in the middle to do what they got to do in order for the games to get played. Well, Mr. Williams, this is the first edition for this year of the Referees Corner. We'll be here weekly from 6. We'll be having a host of officials from local and abroad joining us to talk through their experiences and so forth. So we look forward to edition number 2 next week, where hopefully we can have one of those who are on the list and probably 2 youngsters to join them and just talk about the journey thus far.
No problem at all. I'll definitely do my best to arrange that.
All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your evening, sir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Biz, and good night, all.